Hey there. I just woke up just a little bit ago. I turned my computer on. I opened it up, and the video camera from my computer was on, which is really strange because it wasn't on yesterday when I turned it off. And so I don't know. I just felt like I needed to make a video for you really quick. And the subject being health and general well being. So, what is health? Health is a lot of things all coming together to make you an optimal person. When you really think about it, almost everything is about health. At least that's kind of the conclusion I've come to, and I think that it's a pretty reasonable conclusion. One of the things that I had really thought about in depth recently was the subject of programming. And this isn't a new subject, obviously, but you may or may not have thought about it in depth and how much that programming is affecting you and affecting your health. So, speaking of programming and wellness and how your mind affects your body all together, um, just going back to a time when you were growing up and you didn't know what was being put into your head, meaning you didn't know how to judge or critically think about what you were allowing into your head. There were no filters. It was just you being completely open and being exposed to the beliefs of your parents, seeing maybe things on TV, and then if you were involved in some type of religion, then you were being exposed to those types of beliefs, and they were just being put into you, and sometimes in a way of almost force because of the people who were promoting those beliefs, having some fear that if they didn't promote these things, that you might not be a good person, that somehow you might get lost. And even though this was kind of fear-based, this programming, I believe that religious-based programming mostly has good intentions and has the well-being of the person that is being taught these things in mind on a very basic level. But these things just come into us. We're supposed to take them on faith and just believe. And there are things that in my life, of course, that I kind of have faith in or have a basic belief in, but I can't prove. So it's a good thing in general just to realize that you can still have faith or belief in something, or it seems like reasonable what it is that you believe, even if you can't prove it. And you can still function, I believe, optimally with these beliefs, and sometimes even better with certain beliefs that you can't prove. So I'm in no way speaking against religion in any general sort of way, although I believe myself that there is one line of truth, meaning one set of facts that is real, and has is the basic makeup of how history and life unfolded, meaning that sure there are many perspectives, and then there is one reality of the way things actually unfolded. So that is real truth, that is unbiased. And so can we know that? Can we understand that fully? No. So that is one way to deprogram yourself from that programming that was meant to shape us, is by saying, yeah, sure, this is possible, this is true, and it might even be likely it's true, and maybe there's some evidence this is true. But you can also break free from the very, very specific types of dogma that are laid down on you from other people, maybe by their own specific interpretation of things that may or may not be what God intended for you to get out of this information, for example. So, breaking a little bit of programming here, speaking about religious programming, but programming also coming from the government. All of these things come into us unchecked from a young age, and so at some point we might have all of these conflicting beliefs about what is right, what is wrong, about who we are, what our purpose in life is, and just basic confusion, even stemming from the fact that we don't know or completely understand who we are and where we came from, which is the same dilemma that all of us are in. So, on a very basic level, I think health is partly undoing the programming that was set up for you without your consent when you were growing up, and critically examining that programming and then reprogramming yourself according to what you really find beneficial for you and for others, and that is in alignment with truth and rightness. Some people say there is no right or wrong, but there is an argument that can refute that, which we won't get into right now. There's probably several arguments that can refute that, and I'm sure that most people would agree with me that there's a right and a wrong, meaning that there is something that is generally good that you can do, or there are things that you can generally do that are good and perceived as good by yourself and others, and there are generally things that are not good that are not perceived as good by others and yourself. That's all I mean. But to reprogram yourself is the point, and base it on reality, realizing too that we don't understand everything about reality, so you can be open to possibilities that could be real for you, and you can test those possibilities in your life by applying the principles that surround certain ideas and seeing if they actually bring to reality or into life those things that you hoped that they would. And on a very basic level, people speak about karma. They speak about the law of sow and reap, which is karma. They speak about the law of attraction, which obviously has been pretty widespread, but you attract into your life what it is that you're thinking about. Now, on a very basic level, that's true, because what you're focused on thinking about is what you're going to notice, and you're also probably going to take some action on things that you're thinking about. So you can prove the law of attraction on some very basic level without too much effort. It's when you start getting into the idea of that, like, whatever it is you think about is going to come into your life with absolutely no other effort or action. It's all based upon your thoughts. Maybe not. I'm not here to debate that right now. All I'm saying is that this is something that you can actually set up in your life, and you can decide, I want to use the law of attraction to bring things into my life, and see for yourself if it actually really, in a realistic sort of way, manifests. And if it doesn't, then you can say, well, this is probably not true, or you can be more confused and wonder what else it is that you have to do to make it to happen and to do it the right way. And you can pay lots of money to some authority out there to tell you like how to do the law of attraction better. But I don't recommend you do that. But if you want to, go ahead. And maybe these gurus who speak about the law of attraction really have something to offer you. So there is levels of programming again. And what the idea, I think, and what I've discovered for myself is to bring all of these belief systems into alignment with each other, meaning to make them work in your life and to be checked by each other. So if your parents taught you this was the right way to be, and then life taught you that this was the way to be, and they're the same, that means there's congruency in them, and there probably is some level of truth in them. And then you can refine that out to a better understanding, and even critically think about it, and maybe even ask God to help you to understand these things better. And I believe by faith that you will get higher understanding, and that you will be able to see more clearly the reality of the way that things are. And so that's what we're talking about lining up with the way that things are, as opposed to the way that we might like things to be, or the way that somebody told us that things are. And so this is going to bring our body into a greater state of health, and it's also going to help us to make better choices in our life in a general sort of way. And so I'm going to go ahead and let that be the message for today. And thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to seeing you real soon.